Hi everybody. So today's video is just a little bit of a story time about this dress. Okay. So I mentioned this in I think a previous video when I was doing like a what sold video or something like that. I was talking about this dress and I said there was kind of an issue going on with it and I was going to talk about it later. So, history of this dress. This is a very cool, cute, artsy dress. Okay, I absolutely love it. My mom bought this for me, I don't know, high school. I think I was in high school. So this has to be at least, God, how long ago was that? Like over 15 years ago. So this is like a really cool dress. And we got it from a store that's no longer open. It's got these like 3D flowers on it and all of the chest portion is a 3D material, like knit. It's like mesh kind of. It has a tie in the back. It's got really pretty floral print that just looks super vintage. And then it's got this pretty teal mesh at the bottom. It's just gorgeous. Oh, and then like this really pretty orange velvet band around. Obviously, you can see it in pictures. Okay. So I've had this listed since for a while because this was back when I was doing pictures downstairs and then I was doing the display picture on Photo Fuse to remove the background. So as you can see over here where the background is white, that's from the app Photo Fuse where it just whites out the background. And this is just a normal picture taken with my camera on my phone. And this was this phone that I took. I don't even know. I mean, it's like a newer phone, not super new. I feel like I got it right before I had my son, my second son. So like maybe 2023. So like last year. So it's like a relatively new phone. And I take my picture, just my normal camera, no like filters or anything, and I do it using flash. And I have this light here that I use that you'll sometimes see in my background off of Amazon. It's like a bendy light and it has a few different settings. And so I use like the brightest setting, which is supposed to be daylight. So to me, my pictures are about as accurate as you're going to get if you're not like seeing it in person. That's going to be like this is as close as you can get to me because I'm just using a normal camera, no filters or settings or anything like that, and like a daylight light bulb with my light on in the room. So anyway, this is when I was taking them downstairs in my living room, and then these measurement photos were taken in my kitchen, and I have a huge bay window with a lot of natural light that would come in and I would get pictures for that. In fact, these are better measurement pictures than what I'm taking now up here. So anyway, um, very close to how it looks in person. Right. Now, the person bought this dress, $30. Um, I feel like it might have been a best offer because I think it was like more like 25 and then like shipping. So it must have been an offer. And so anyway, they bought the dress. And immediately, as soon as they got it, they opened a claim, a case against it on December 1st. And they said that the lower part of the dress looks faded and not bright, like the picture shows. I'm not pleased with this difference and cannot use it. First of all, that already irritated me because I don't understand what do you mean you can't use it? You know what I mean? Like why is it now suddenly not usable? So I guess that was just kind of my first like red flag about this return was that she said that it was just unusable. She could not use it. That just doesn't make sense. It's a dress, you can still use it. So I told her I was sorry, she was unhappy. However, all of the pictures that I had provided were unedited and they were taken in different lights. I.e., inside my living room with the ceiling light and a natural light bulb, and then in the kitchen with just daylight coming in, uh, and that they were taken with different lights so that they would get the closest to actual coloring of the item. I also just reminded her to keep in mind different displays like my computer phone or my laptop display and my cell phone, her cell phone, a tablet, whatever you're viewing it on, could have different settings, like with their vibrancy and the brightness and things like that. So they all might display coloring slightly different, even if you have like the brightness level of your computer or monitor or your cell phone turned up or down. If you have a blue light filter turned on your phone so that it doesn't strain your eyes as much, that could alter a little bit. So I said, just please keep that in mind. But I said, I hope that you still find the item is usable. Again, the dumbest thing. And she said, this is very discouraging and looks like a faded garment. I wouldn't buy it if I had seen it in person. I don't know why it was discouraging. I don't know what she meant by that. And she said that it looked faded. And I know right now I have probably the cruddiest lighting possible on right now in my workroom because it's super late at night and it's 6 o'clock and it's winter time. And so there's not, but like, I hope that you can see this doesn't at all look faded. I don't know. I don't know if you can see that. It's very vibrant. It's very pretty. This is a beautiful dress. And if it still fit me, I would definitely wear it. And I feel like maybe because it was a personal piece, I don't know if I just took that more personally. It just was super irritating. And she said if she had seen it in person, she wouldn't have bought it. And I think again, it's just one of those things that you're gonna face when you do online resale that people aren't seeing this in person, but that is why I go above and beyond to take a bunch of pictures, sometimes more pictures than other people do, just because I really want you to get the idea of what the item looks like. And so that I guess was just super frustrating to me that she just acted like I had thrown a picture or two up there in the dark, a dark room, and like, what she got was totally different than what she expected. This looks just like it does in the pictures. Anyway, I replied same day, this is December 1st. I'm sorry you feel it looks faded. However, it is in the same condition it was purchased in when bought brand new from Steinmart. It was only worn once. The vibrancy is as it was when purchased, i.e., it's not faded. It's not super washed. I mean, it honestly, I don't even know. Was it dry clean only? No, it says turn inside out, hand wash, line dry. So this was probably hand washed. I mean, it wasn't, and I know it was mine. I wasn't worn more than one time. Anyway, I just said feel free to use our photos and description if you would like to relist this in the future. I kind of did that because on Poshmark you can reposh an item, and that's kind of something that you can say in returns just to kind of nail on the coffin, like, no, this isn't getting returned. You can relist it if you want to, buddy. That's up to you. Feel free to use our pictures. And that's kind of what I was aiming at here. I was like, if you want to relist it and resell it yourself because you aren't happy with it, go on ahead, but I'm not accepting a return. That's when she got kind of snotty. And she said, your picture was deceptive and you should have stated in your and color may be off due to your lighting and camera. Okay, my pictures were not deceptive, and she said picture. I had multiple, which then begs the question, did you even look at more than one picture? They weren't deceptive. This is the actual dress. And then she's saying I should have stated that my color may be off due to my lighting and camera. My lighting was natural daylight lighting, as if you walked outside in this, it should look almost exactly like it does in the picture. Um, And I have seen some people now, I will say I have seen some picture people add that to their descriptions and their listings. They will say lighting may appear off due to them, differences in your phone and my phone and blah blah blah. Yeah, you can, but there is a certain point too where am I also supposed to say this? I don't want to get snotty myself. There's only so much that I feel like you should have to do as common sense. Does that make sense? Like I can only put so many words in my description for different platforms, and there's only so much that people are going to read. And I've actually put I something that always gets to me is I will put my measurements in all of my photos, and I still have people message me to ask me what the item's measurements are because people don't read and they don't look at all the pictures. They don't look at the description. They don't look at the drop downs and the item specifics and the whatever. They just don't. So had I even put in there that my lighting might look different than your lighting and blah blah blah, it probably wouldn't have made a difference. And again, this doesn't have to do with my camera. This has to do with the lighting could look different based on your monitors. I don't think that should be something I'd have to add to my listings. I just think that she's looking to put fault where it's not due. So then I responded that I was not, and she did wait 4 days. So the thing was with eBay that kind of surprised me was that I know with Poshmark you have like 3 days to accept an item. Otherwise, it's just you're out of luck. Like you have to keep it. And then it automatically accepts it. I can't remember how it is with Mercari, and then with eBay, I guess they were giving her several days to respond, and so she waited 4 days to respond back about the deception that she said. Then I responded same day. That I was trying to explain it wasn't due to my camera lighting. It's just that, the things with the displays, whatever. I told her I was sorry she was unhappy with the coloring of the dress. However, it was as it was stated in the description and photos, and we do not accept returns. Then after that, she opened a case. So I guess it wasn't necessarily a case. I think it was like, and it was weird because eBay was only giving me the options of giving her a full-blown refund, and accepting the item, giving her a partial refund, or send her a message. It wasn't just allowing me to say no, you can't return it. And that was, I guess, because she chose the option item was not as shown in photos or something as described. So then she opened the case. All right, let's see what the case is. The case was she opened the case, and then I think then eBay allowed me to respond to the case after it was open. And so my response, once the case was officially open with eBay on December 6th, please tell the buyer, please communicate with the buyer, as I have, that the item is in the same condition as described and shown in photographs and in the listing, and that it is in like new condition, and that lighting can vary from house to house and from different displays. That then the return request, it says, was initiated, and they accepted the buyer's request to return the item. And I got no information. It just said, oh, we've decided to, after reviewing the case, to side with the buyer, and we are allowing them to return for a refund. That pissed me off. And I will say that I've been on eBay since like 20, I don't know, 11 maybe. So out of all of that time, I've had very few return cases. And there's been sometimes when it's been my fault. There's been sometimes when buyers are not happy with the sizing or whatever, and they will do what they can to get it returned. And I feel like this was the case. So it really irritated me that due to no fault of my own, this was going to be returned, and I was not going to settle for it because, for one, the dress had already been sold. So I had already taken it off of eBay. I'd already taken it off of Poshmark and Mercari. If it came back to me, I was going to have to go back to Flip and relisted on all three platforms and basically treat it as a brand new item, because any likes that had been on that item, any eyes that had been on that item, are most likely going to be gone now. And they're not going to be looking in my shop hoping that maybe someone returned it and that it got relisted. That's just not going to happen. And it had taken a while for that dress to sell. So it's not like it was a wildly popular item that was gonna get snatched up as soon as I listed it. And it was like a summer item. It's a sleeveless dress. So, and it's right now the middle of winter. Yeah, so I wasn't happy. And they said that I'd have to send an entire refund of the 30, basically it was like $30 and somewhat cents. And I'm trying to think. I would then be out the money for the shipping too, now that I think about it, because I had to pay for the shipping label. So then technically, yes, if I have to refund her full amount, but I've paid for shipping, then that would mean that I'd also be out however much that cost. So not happy. December 6th, they provided the tracking details for the return, and it came to me 4 days, I believe 4 days, like 4 days later. I don't remember where this got sent to. She returned it in the original packaging, but she had put it in like a Ziploc bag, and it had like a SKU number on it, which then made me wonder if she was a reseller, because I feel like that's not normal buyer behavior, right? Like I don't feel like if I was just a casual eBay buyer, I would have Ziploc bags with SKU numbers on them unless it came from another person's item, but I don't know. To me that gave me the feeling like maybe she was a seller. I don't know if that matters. I feel like it kind of matters because I feel like why would you do that to another seller that's really cruddy? Just resell it. I don't know. And so for the first day, I was like too mad to even open the package back up. I've seen some sellers talk about that before where they're like, oh, I have a couple of return packages sitting around here. I just haven't even opened them because I'm just irritated by it. That's how I felt. But I was like, no, you know what? I just want to see it again and just be reminded of how not muted and faded the color is. So I opened it up and I took it downstairs and I showed my husband. I was like, do you see this? Do you see how vibrant and beautiful this dress is? That lady was trying to say that it was faded, like it had been super worn out. And I won't rehash all that. But yeah, I was really irritated. And he's like, I know, of course it was a lie. So I opened an appeal up with eBay. And on December 11th, a day after it arrived back to me, I wrote, the dress was returned. It isn't 100% as it appeared in photos in the listing. It is not faded nor muted. It is exactly as described and looks exactly as it did in the original pictures. The buyer created a false return to be able to send the item back. I'm uploading images in 3 different lights to show the dress coloring is just as shown in the listing, and therefore my pictures were accurate. I took pictures downstairs, in my upstairs hallway, and in my upstairs bathroom right in front of a window, using flash for some and no flash for others so that they could get a complete idea of how accurate my pictures were. And the very next day, the appeal was closed and they sided with me and they refunded my 30 something dollars. Thank you very much. So I was happy that it went my way, obviously, and not just because I wanted to get my way, but because I felt like I was in the right and the buyer was in the wrong. So, what does all that mean? That means technically a few things. The buyer, oh, and she had left super rude feedback. She left me negative feedback, which was insane that when I have 100% positive feedback, one negative took it from 100 to a 99.3, which may not sound that low, but I don't know. It just like I was just surprised that it dipped so fast. Um and she wrote something like dress was completely off of what it looked like. Seller lied in pictures and some BS. And so luckily with the appeal, it not only refunded all of my money back, I get to keep the item. So yeah, she can have her refund, whatever. She doesn't come out any better. She just doesn't have the dress anymore. I get all of the money that I made and I get the dress and I got the feedback removed. So win-win-win situation. So now my feedback is back to 100. I got to keep her money. Well, not technically her money. I guess eBay probably just let her have the money and then or her money back and then just refunded me money off of their, backs. And then, but I get to have money for it and I get to have the dress back. So I can still relist it probably in the summertime and maybe it'll sell again. So, and I keep my 100% feedback. So I was very happy. So I know that was a super long story time and I'm sorry, but I just had to share. This has been like the first time I've had a return in like, I don't even know how long. So I just wanted to share a return story and hopefully give you guys an idea of what to do if someone's trying to kind of scam you a little bit when it comes to returns, that you do have that option of an appeal. And if you need to have any questions about like how to do the appeal, let me know because I did kind of have to look into all of that and kind of navigate it myself on how to work with eBay so that they would take my side. So if you have any questions, let me know, but I'm just glad it worked out for the best. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.